Okay, I've come on a minute early just to make sure you can see and hear me. So, good morning to the West Coast. Good afternoon to the East Coast. Good middle of it all for the Middle Coast. There's no coast in the middle. Hi, Rachel. And good evening to our London friends. And that's it. All right. So I guess you can hear me and see me. That's great. So I will get moving then because it just turned onto the hour. And I got a question last webinar at the very, very end. And of course, it was a question that I would have loved to have answered, but it was just not enough time. Good. Well, the South is in one of the time zones. So it's if you're in South West Coast, then good morning. If you're in South East, Tanya, you're getting me confused. It's too early. It's too early for me to have to do time zones. Just like I don't do math in public, I don't do time zones in the morning. Okay, so I was not able to answer this question last webinar because it was just too detailed for the end. So she's laughing at me. So what I am going to do is, I always open up the webinar Q&A. For those of you who are new, my name is Jessica Sittermer, and I always open up our live Q&A with like a 10-minute little training on something specific. And, I got a little fancy this week because I was excited about this topic that she asked about last time. So let's get fancy, and we are going to talk today about blogging. Woo! So she asked, how do I start a blog? All right, so blogging, you can do, I'm going to give you all kinds of information about blogging. Okay, so first of all, start with ITA's blog. All right, like, when you go to IntelliTravel.com, you can click on where this red arrow is to IntelliTravel blog and click on it and get there, or you could just go there directly, blog.intellitravel.com. Okay, so start with IntelliTravel's blog. Okay, how are you going to do this? Well, you can start your own and do it yourself, or you can hire a web designer. So if you're going to do it yourself, I suggest WordPress. That's what I use. Although I did not create my own blog, I have a wonderful web designer who does all my web design and building. She's both a techie and an artist, so it's great. I get the best of both worlds. Now, I know a whole bunch of you are going to have questions about, how do I do it myself? How do I create this blog in WordPress? So I gave you a little boom star there to show you that you can just Google, how do I create a blog in WordPress? And then this video comes up, done by WordPress, but a whole bunch of other things come up as well. So, you can simply just read those things and teach yourself very quickly, or you can hire a web designer if you really want it to look, beautiful and branded specifically to you. So that is how you start blogging, okay? Just by creating a blog. And you do not need a website. You don't have to have a website to do it. WordPress.com just covers that whole thing for you. Okay. So if you're going to use ITA's blog, which I suggest for beginners and for those like me who are highly advanced bloggers, Well, I wouldn't say I'm highly advanced because I consider a highly advanced blogger someone who blogs daily, which I used to do. I did it for about 3 years, 4 years, where I was blogging daily, answering a question a day. And now I just repurpose those blogs and answer, yeah, and do repurpose those questions and just use it that way. But for the advanced bloggers, you can use the IntelliTravel blog to kind of every few days, like if you blog 4 times a month, maybe 1 month it will be an IntelliTravel blog. Here's the thing. If you are using the IntelliTravel blog word for word, that is perfect. That is perfect. You can copy and paste word for word. The only thing you must do is look up in that left upper corner, change the photo. IntelliTravel has paid to license that photo of the girl sleeping on the long flight. No one has licensed this photo of me taking a big old steak on the plane and holding it by the bone and eating it. Yes, that's how I roll. Okay, so if you look at it, you will see long haul flights are never easy. So is mine. Mine says long haul flights are never easy. Now I added, okay, so they said at least a flight that lasts 6 hours. I've got all that. Do I just sleep the whole time? I put in parentheses, I usually do. So I added a little touch of Jess in there. Is the food good? Do I bring extra stuff? Okay, so like I literally copied and pasted this and then just added my own picture. Okay, next. Blogging for writers. Okay, so this is for people who write, like me. Now, I'm not saying like I'm some, award-winning writer, but I just like to write what's on my mind. So if you like to write, this is for you. If you're not a writer and you don't like to write, the next slide's for you. So hang in there with me. So you can come up with a theme that people can expect from your blog. Mine is, whoops, wow, very sensitive touchpad there. Okay, mine is personal growth for personal development for business owners. Okay, so people know that I'm always going to be giving them either business tips or life, mindset tips. So I'm always giving a tool, a mindset, or an action to take, something new. All right, but my theme, and this has been my theme since 2008. Yeah, I think that's when I started blogging, are movies. So what I do, because I was an entertainment industry coach for over 20 years, what I do is I take a movie and then I take a lesson from that movie and I tie it in. But now what I've started doing, because I know I'm teaching travel agents, is some of my movies have a location in it, right? So this one was a good example for you all. How Stella got her groove back, the truth about feeling judged. So I give a little synopsis about Stella getting her groove back. Okay, that's a synopsis of what the movie's about. And then I do my blog. So after that description, you probably think this is going to be focused on work-life balance. It's not. I want to call out the romance between a woman and a much younger man and the judgment that comes along with it. So it's all about comparing that judgment of what she was going through and how she felt like she couldn't be with this guy because people were judging her and she was judging herself, and then saying, that's where this ties into your business. If you're not giving 100% of yourself for fear of what others might say about you, that they may unfriend you or your failure is inevitable, as a CEO of your own business, whether you're in entertainment, a travel agent, a personal organizer, a network marketer, a realtor, a yoga teacher, or any type of entrepreneur, in order to get work, clients, and make your living, you have to sell yourself and your product, and people are going to judge you. They are. Now, then I go on to talk about how, their judgment doesn't pay your bills kind of thing. And some people are judging you thinking you're amazing. Like some people are reading this and being like, who does this girl think she is to blog? Guess what? That person doesn't pay my bills, and that person certainly isn't my friend. But not only that, but how about the 98% of the people that are judging me like, oh, she cares about me. She's helping me. Like, oh, I think she's so great. Okay, well, guess what? I'm not so great, and I'm not, who do I think I am? I'm just me. So whatever judgments people put on me, I can't take personally. I just got to keep being me. So that's my theme for that's my topic, okay? That's what I'm giving back in this blog. Now look at what else I did. I took from the hot deals that week a picture from Jamaica. And I wrote travel tip. Always use a travel agent when booking a vacation. Now that's a pretty general travel tip. Why? Because I'm not a travel agent. So what you would do is you would give a good travel tip, a juicy travel tongue tie, a juicy travel tip about going to Jamaica. All right, this shows your expertise. All right, speaking of expertise, that's this next theme, showing expertise in something. So, if you're a travel agent, maybe you can blog about different places, and maybe you give a restaurant they should eat, where they should eat, a site that they must see if they go there, and some kind of tip, travel tip. Okay, so that can be expertise. If you have a hobby, that's a great way to blog as well. So let's say you love quilting. Okay, you can, every month that you're going to blog, or every 2 weeks that you're going to blog, however often you can, blog about something that has to do with quilting. Then you'll get a very niche following. Okay, all the quilters are going to follow you. Now, how does that help my travel business, Jessica? All I'm doing is I'm writing about quilting, and, I've got all these quilters following me, but what does that do? Well, then you say, hey, everybody, I have a great idea. What if I put together a cruise where we can go, for 5 days. We can see like 2 different locations. We can buy t-shirts and fabrics and different things that we can put onto our quilt. And then I will do this every quarter. And each quarter we'll go to a different place. And then at the end of the year, we're going to have at beautiful Jamaica, or wherever it might be, not a cruise, a land place. We'll all meet up together, and we're going to share with each other our travel quilt for 2019. Okay? And then you build that into something. So that's why sharing a hobby is fun. You can also share tips. People love value. So you can, come up with your own tips for something that, travel tips, tips for, being a working mom, or tips for being an entrepreneur. Like if you have a full-time job but you have a part-time job, you can give tips for how you manage family, 2 jobs, whatever it is. So tips. Okay, let's get to the non-writers. Okay, so for non-writers, it's all about creating value so that people want to come and read what you are sharing. So maybe you are sharing quotes. Okay, so let's say you go into your back office and you see there's a trend this week that there's a lot of exciting adventure trips going on. So maybe you have, your blog is the place where everyone comes to get quotes for their own social media. So maybe you go to canva.com, and I believe I talked about Canva last week. I don't know. I know I've talked about Canva before, canva.com. I could even look it up when we're done with this. But maybe you put other people's quotes in your branded looking, Yeah, I know I've done this with you guys because we talked about creating a branded quote. So I think that may have even been last week. So you can look in last week's. So you have quotes, and that's your blog. It's just one quote, and maybe you do it every day. So daily you are blogging one quote, but it's in your branded so that people can come and share it. Or maybe you do a daily devotional or a Bible verse, and ask your readers to say what it means to you, and then you're going to choose one of them to feature in the next blog. So if you are talking about the story of David and Goliath, and you put a verse from that, and you can say, share your stories of David and Goliath. When have you come up against a giant in your life and broken through? And I will feature, one of your stories. So next time you get this incredibly moving story about this woman who, her Goliath was battling cancer, and she beat it. And you share her story. She wrote it. And then underneath her story, you share the next Bible verse and ask, what does this mean to you? And I'll share. I mean, you will get so many people because everyone wants their 15 minutes, right? Everyone wants to be acknowledged for something. Okay, now let's say you don't want to write at all. You can vlog. You could do a video blog, which is basically you talking about something for a short period of time, anywhere from 1 to 10 minutes. And, because that's usually when you lose their attention spans. If you are teaching something, not travel related, only our ambassadors are allowed to teach about travel. But if you are, you can be teaching tips and things like that. You just can't be training on how to sell travel, okay? So you can't be training on how to sell travel, but you can be teaching people about, how to protect their stuff. So basically, that gives me an idea for next webinar. Okay, Jessica's squirreling, but let me just make a note to myself. And here's how you make notes to yourself. By the way, if you come up with cool ideas during the day, hopefully your phone has an app for voice memos. If it does not, then see if you can download one. So I'm going to do a voice memo right now. Okay. Work on how to create a vlog to get PR. Okay. So now I've created that for myself so I won't forget, because let's face it, people, Jessica's brain is just like that the dog in Up, squirrel, right? Okay, it goes all over the place. So let's get back to the vlog here. So this is me. Now I did do a little writing because I do write, but you don't have to. All you have to do is write a topic at the top, a sentence, how I make my protein shakes. And then you can just show the video of how you make your protein shakes. And people, when I tell you, like, I did this Facebook Live, so there's another hint for you. Facebook Live at first, so you can get all the engagement, people watching, and people coming to your page. Then download it from Facebook and upload it to your blog. I had over 1,000 people watching me make my protein shake. Okay? And then, again, for non-bloggers, you can share tips. Now, what you can do is you can Google tips, and what I would do is I would Google a couple of different places, so let's say you're doing, tips to protect stuff from while you're traveling. Well, you can start off with copying IntelliTravel's article on it, but you can also Google some other ones so that you're taking tips from different places, so it's not like plagiarizing an entire article, unless you're using IntelliTravel, so that's okay. All right, so that's the end of our blogging segment. And, I took a little longer than that. And I'm going to expand the window here so I can get to your questions. All right. So let's see. Okay. Oh, Marlene, I'm so glad you had a great time at Dreammaker. Never thought about blogging. You should absolutely. Okay, if you can't hear me, sign back in. But of course you can't hear me, so you don't know to sign back in. What is a link to your blog for idea purposes? Okay, glad you asked, because it's great to model by example. That's why I always tell you all to follow me on all my social media places, because I make everything public so that you can follow me. And here's the thing. So it's jessicacinema.com, pretty easy. And then there's my blog. So, hey, here was one that also has, let me see if it has, did you know there are 13 locations in the movie you can visit in Singapore? Ask your travel agent. All right, so hey, there's a perfect example right there. So basically, I took a location, and it became all about being loved Crazy Rich Asians. Oh my gosh, you guys! Last night I went to see, here's Squirrel. Last night I went to see. Oh boy, hold on, got pop-ups happening here. Last night I went to see. Isn't it romantic? If you like romantic comedies, y'all, it is so freaking funny. Okay, so now let me just show you one thing. So here I did Crazy Rich Asians, which is my movie theme. Here I did Sliding Doors, which is my movie theme. In between, I did an IntelliTravel post. This is IntelliTravel's latest post, 6 ways to avoid getting sick from your flight. However, I changed my picture. There's Winnie, for those of you who remember this webinar used to be the Jesse and Winnie show before he graduated college and moved on to another great big career closer to his family up in Washington, D.C. So, of course, I added a little bit of Jess in there. And then I just simply copied and pasted. Okay, so that is where you can find my blog. So for those of you, oh, I know I miss them too. For those of you who would like to model, not copy, and like, you are welcome to share my blogs. Okay, so let's say, let me show you, for example, you can share Condé Nast Traveler blogs. You can share. So here we go. So read more. There should be a share to Facebook, okay? So you can say, my cool trainer, Jessica, wrote this blog about happiness, and I wanted to share the happy. And you can then post that to Facebook. I won't, because then people will think I have a split personality, because I am Jessica. And people already probably do think I have a split personality. So that's how you can share my blogs. You can't copy them and make them your own. That's, you know, not fair. But IntelliTravels, you can copy and make your own, because they've paid for it so that you can share what those writers have written. So things like that. So here's one that I wrote. Hey, there's Fern and Dr. A. Let's see. So here's one that I took from IntelliTravel's blog. Yes, there are still travel agents, and you need them more than ever. I kind of added that myself, and then I added to it. Here are some of our ambassadors. There we go. We've got beautiful ambassadors. P.S. I happen to know a few thousand travel agents when you need one, and I know they know their stuff, because as their trainer, they keep teaching me new facts and insider secrets. So, you know, so I'm always promoting you guys when I can. So like, this might be a blog you want to share, because it's telling them the benefits of booking with a travel agent. And again, I've added some of my own to the IntelliTravel ones. All right, so let's get back to your questions. Okay. And I got a little extra time today, y'all, so don't worry if I have to go over. You're saying copying a word for word, but change the photo. You do not have to create. Okay, so copy word for word IntelliTravels. but change the photo. There's no crediting necessary because our staff writers wrote those. What is your suggestion for a photo replacement when you haven't traveled enough? Okay, that is an amazing question. Here is my suggestion to you. So let's say you don't have a picture of yourself eating a giant steak on a plane. Steak on a Plane, it could be the sequel to, was it Wesley Snipes' Snakes on the Plane? Or was that, no, he was Passenger 57. I think it was, what's his name? Yeah, I have his picture in my head, but anyway. So if you want to use pictures that you don't have to pay for, unsplash.com is a great way to share images. Let's see. So here we go. We are going to put in Singapore. Okay. So here are these wonderful photographers who have taken photos that you can share. You can just copy and use them. Now, if you'd like to, you can give them credit for the photo. You can give them a photo credit. They always appreciate that, but you don't have to. All right. These are just photos for everyone. So that's a good place to go and get your photos. And let me just put in, for those of you who want the Canva address, here's the Canva address, and it is free and you can create your own images, but I did that last week so that you can watch the last one. Okay, let me see. Okay, my husband and I went to Cancun, Mexico. We booked our shuttle service from the activities link in the back office. Do I need to register the shuttle in the back office for commission? So if you booked it through the back office, and let me just check the activities link. Hold on a second. Let me just check something, because here's when you have to, here's when you have to register your outside booking. See that? Register outside booking. Anytime you leave the back office, okay? So, Snakes on a Plane, Samuel L. Jackson. Yes, I had his picture in my head. Thank you, everybody who gave me Sam's name. Love him. He's fantastic. Okay. So, let's see. If there is somebody who knows for a fact that you do not have to book, okay, so let's see. If you know for a fact, like I know Belinda, you're on here. I have some of my ambassadors on here. If you know for a fact that you don't have to register your booking with activities, just save me the trouble of going through this, because what I was going to do is look to see if we have left the IntelliTravel back office, and it looks like partner.viacom. So let's see. I can't tell. I can't tell if you have left the back office. Anytime you leave the back office, that's when you have to register your booking. So this one might be, yes, you have to register them. Thank you, Davina. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, you're leaving the back office here because IntelliTravel's website is not in the URL. See, here we have IntelliTravel back office in the URL. So yes, you do have to register your, yes, okay, here come all my ambassadors. Rachel, thank you. Okay, so you do have to register outside activities. Thank you, Melissa. Okay, so they're all here. Okay, all right, so there you go. That's your answer to that. So what I was just going to show you, though, is for book travel. Let's see. I'm looking for, let's stay on book travel home. Okay, so cruises, cars, vacations. Okay, so here's vacations, right? We go to Club Med to book a vacation. Boom! Look what just happened in our URL. www.clubmedtravelagents.com. So you sign in. You have left the back office, y'all. You've left it. Nowhere does it say IntelliTravel there, which means you must book that. Versus if you go to your hotels, and you book it right here. If you book it right here, then you don't have to register it. Okay? Okay. Let's see. I have a customer that wants a cabin, but I don't see any, and how would I go about trying to get one for her? Alrighty. This is why it's so important to watch the Tuesday and Thursday webinars, go to Dreammaker events, go to any supplier events you can get to, and to watch the replay if you can't watch live. I have heard that there is a supplier that does rent a cabin, but it might be, during a tour that they are doing, so you might have to book the whole tour, probably. But here's why I wanted to answer this question. Not just because you were the third one to ask a question and I answer in order, but because I wanted to point out something. We make our money, okay? We make our money selling cruises, vacation packages, trips, like big, things that you can put together with our preferred partners because they give us the highest commissions. We do not make a lot of money on one-offs like booking a youth hostel. Like, that's not something that's necessarily commission, it's not necessarily commissionable, okay? So if you have to look so hard that you cannot find a commissionable cabin, then you're taking too much time on something that you really shouldn't do. Now, for good faith purposes, if it's somebody who's brand new and you know where they want the cabin, it's not commissionable, so you book it for them. But this is just to start creating a new relationship, okay? So generally, for things like cabins, you would have to Google it, find it, and then once you get them on the phone, say, I'm a travel agent. Do you work with travel agents? If they say no, and you know this is where your client wants to go, say, okay, well, let me book it anyway for my client, okay? So there are certain things like, how do I get a bus from, to New York to Connecticut? Like, that's not something that's necessarily going to be commissionable. So let's not waste our time on the little things. Let's look at how we can build big, giant, group cruising around, what did I use before? Scrapbooking, not scrapbooking, which is another good one. I used putting together the patchwork quilting. Thank you. Okay. All right. So I got a question. Who would you recommend for a luxury vacation to Punta Cana with a butler service? Okay, so this question, as well as the last one about the cabins, here's another thing I'd like for you all to do when you have general questions like that. Let's go to Facebook. Let's go to... Oh, yeah. Hey, if you guys go to my site, if you could spare a minute to help the people in the entertainment industry, cinematographers and editors got kind of kicked out of the Academy Awards this year, and I am asking people to sign a petition to get them back in there because let's face it, if they didn't cut the movie, if they didn't shoot the movie, you wouldn't be able to watch the movie. Okay, sorry, squirrel. All right, Departure Lounge, the official agent Departure Lounge. If you are not in this, get in this. Okay, because this is where you can ask a question. So let's wait for some questions to come up. I've been racking my brain trying to think, looking for recommendations. See, she's looking for recommendations. So as far as the luxury vacation to Punta Cana, what I'm going to tell you to do is either ask there or go into your back office, go under your, where are they? Hello, preferred partners. Check out the preferred partner guide and read about who our luxury partners are. Hey, the book has been updated, everyone. This is new for me. I have not seen Alliance Global Assistance. They are there now. Oh, AMA Waterways. Hey, I think this just got bigger. Apple Vacations and Fun Jet Vacations, which is now Apple Leisure Group. But I guess this went to print before that happened. Okay. So you would look to see who is luxury. All right, beds online. What the what? Oh my gosh, I'm seeing some. This is why you want to do a back office tour every month, because we add new things like classic vacations. Let's see if they say, oh, villas. Okay, so people who are looking for villas, there you go. I'm just trying to see if I see somebody who is known for, they do some luxury stuff, and let's see. Yeah, so just keep searching around until you find someone that says fair. It says not fair buzz. It says luxury and says Punta Cana. Okay, so that's what you do. All right. So how do I download my Facebook Live from Facebook? Okay, let's go to Jesse's site. Okay, I just did one. I did one yesterday, okay, for this, because I was just so excited about this, this movie. So this is a quick one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it.
How much I absolutely love it.
I'm going to mute it because nobody cares. All right. Well, everybody should care because it's all right. So now what I am trying to do is actions here. Okay, let me move my question box. So download videos right there. So these three little dots, boom, 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 download the video. All right, and there we go. Okay, so that's that. This was so funny last night, you guys. My sister bought me this sweatshirt, and I had just been to Atlanta for the Dream Makers. So I thought it said, "Why love Georgia?" And I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. I just went to Georgia." And you're like, "Why love Georgia?" And she's like, no, it's yoga. I'm like, oh, good Lord. Okay, so yeah, that's me. I am really a romantic comedy girl. I am a walking romantic comedy girl. All right, okay. What is the best way to reference a source of information you are using for other people's sites posts to avoid copyright issues? The best way is just to share it. Just like I showed you how to share mine. When you go to Condé Nast Traveler, cntraveler.com, and you sign up for their newsletter so that every day you're getting like 3 emails from them, which give you all the different, blogs, just share it. All right. If you are using someone's specific thing that you do want to share, read what it says at the bottom, because sometimes I know I used to have it on my, let me see if it's on my Greenlight Coach. The greenlightcoach.com. This is for my entertainment industry people. So my blog. All right. I want to see. Let's just click on this, because I used to have something at the end of mine. No, we updated it. But what I used to say is, you are welcome to share this if you want to use anything in this. It said you cannot. It basically said you cannot plagiarize this, but you can share it, or if you want to use anything I wrote in it, give a link to my website. So just read what their blogging. What their blog says at the bottom about using or sharing. Okay. What's the most creative blog you've encountered in travel? What I would do is, because everyone has a different opinion, but I would do travel bloggers, and you're going to see it's going to give you top 10 travel bloggers you should already be following. 51 best travel blogs to follow. Here is a warning and a advisory tip for you. The top 50 travel blogs. Okay, when you are looking at a blog, make sure it's not another travel agent's blog. Okay, because certain travel agents are travel bloggers, okay? So you want to make sure that, I mean, if like sometimes like people are selling stuff, or so you want to be careful to know the source, because you don't want to be sending someone to somebody, to another travel agent's blog. Okay, so know the source. Okay, where do we post the blog? You can, well, like I post mine on my website, but then if we go to my Facebook page, I think we could just kind of go back there, right? This was the one we were on. Yes. Let's go back to Jesse. Let's go back to mine. Okay, so once I have shared it on my blog, then I go, and it might take us a few minutes to get there. My little nephew. Okay, notice how you're not seeing just, okay, so I answer a Q&A every once in a while, like once a week. This is to show my expertise. All right, so you can do that. We talked about that last time. Let's see. So I have a little business stuff in between all my personal stuff. My goodness, it hasn't been that long since I posted my blog, but I guess I post a lot. So here's another. Let's see how many viewers I got on this. 301 views. Is this a terrible idea? So I kind of pulled them in. So yeah, that was probably a terrible idea. Boy, oh boy. All this to show you that here it is. Here's my latest blog, but not my latest article, which went out today to my newsletter list. If you want to get what's first, register for my newsletters here. So yeah, so they have a newer thing, which I will post soon. But then I give the link to my blog. But look, I shouted you guys out. Did you know there are 13 locations in the movie you can visit in Singapore? Ask your travel agent. So that's where you share your blog on, and I share this on all of my social media sites. I share it on my business page here. Now, for those of you who work a business page, so let's go here. This is my business page. Oops. Okay, this is my business page. I do not work this business page, okay? I have over 1,000 people on this page, but if you look at my home, my personal page, I've maxed out at 5,000. So I can't accept new friends, but I keep everything public so you can watch me. So I do most of my business marketing on my regular Facebook page. But here, what I do is I post my blog. See, what I did though is I posted it to Instagram. All right, so I posted it to Instagram, and then Instagram shares everything to my Facebook page. So everything I post on Instagram gets posted here. So that's 2 for 1. All right, I'm trying to get down to where that blog was. So I know it was after the little feeties. Here it is. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's what I do. I post to Instagram. My Instagram also posts to my Twitter. So this goes to my Twitter. It goes to my Facebook regular page. It does not post to my YouTube. It does not post to my Google Plus, because I don't even know what's up with Google Plus anymore. So those are my main sites. It does not go to Pinterest. I would have to post it myself on Pinterest. And one of these days, I might give Pinterest a little bit more love. Right now, it's not my main target of focus. But for you travel agents, it would be a great area of focus because it's all visual. All right. I'm not sure what is happening, but I can't hear. I don't know why. Shake recipe is pretty dang good. Thank you, Melissa. Okay. Do you recommend that we use a blog we already have or start a new blog? I always recommend me personally, because this is what I have been trained by some of the top trainers. You know, I'm always investing in myself so that I can keep learning, so that I can keep training you on what's the latest, because I don't have time to keep up on every single trend, but my mentors do. So I have a mentor for this, a mentor for that, and a mentor for that, and then I can tie all that stuff in and give you the highlights. All right, so here's what they recommend. If you notice, not this one, my Greenlight Coach one, which I already got rid of. My Greenlight Coach one, I have really old blogs there. but I keep them on because the SEO is really high. The search engine optimization is really high on those because they've been on for a very long time. But the other thing it does is it shows people how I've grown. So for example, you see this blog and how beautifully designed it is with my colors, and how simple it is to use, and it's a very clean page, and it lets you pick from all of these other years. Okay, so it's very neat. Not years, well, yeah, years, but it's very neat and up to date. Now if we go to my home page, which is being fixed up because it's a little too busy right now, we're just working on things, and we click on my entertainment industry coaching, it's going to take us, it's supposed to, hello, what's happening? Why is this not working? Where have our links gone? Okay, don't know why that's happening. Usually when you click on it, it takes you somewhere else. Not sure why that is. It's making me want, okay. Anyway, it's supposed to take you to the Greenlight Coach. So let's go back to the Greenlight Coach. Okay, and we'll go look at my blog there. Okay, now this was updated since its first rendition, which was pretty bad, but look, it's not like it took me, I kept clicking on this trying to read more when read more is down there. And it doesn't, it just tells us, I mean, look at this, more articles. That's very hard on the eyes, right? But I didn't, and it's got all these subcategories. I mean, it goes on and on. I told you, I blogged every single day for 3 years. So it is not as current and updated, but I keep it because the search engine, I mean, if we Google entertainment coach, or let me do entertainment industry coach. All right. Wow, that is telling. See, I got it. Let's see, entertainment. So I guess there's been a lot of new entertainment coaches. Let's see. So the fact that I don't pay attention to my Greenlight Coach just goes to show that Jessica's SEO has dropped, and all these other people are on the front page, and I am not. This is the first time I've ever seen me not on the front page. So let's just see. This is, maybe if I put it into quotes, which most people are not doing, so that should not be. Okay, so well, here we have me there. Here's the Greenlight Coach. Okay, so if you put it in quotes, I'm on the first page. I used to be on the first page without the quotes. Oh, look, I'm the top. I am the top when you put it into quotes. But let's face it, not everyone's putting things into quotes. But SEO is, what is this? Okay, wow, this is like really old. This is like one of my emails. Okay, so that's like really old. So when you put it into quotes, there you go. But I'd be curious, if you didn't put it into quotes, how many pages you would have to go until you found me. So you might want to tell my web designer to up the SEO a little bit on mine just to get me back in there, even though it's not really a top priority for us right now. JessicaSlimmer.com is. Okay, so back to us. All right, let's see. How is blogging different from having a Facebook page? Well, that's a great question. A blog, so let's go back to JessicaSlimmer.com. This is mine. I can collect people's info here, so that and the way I do that well, we're updating this. There's going to be a spot right here, but if we hang on here for a few seconds, I don't know how long it's going to be, but basically what it is I own this blog. This is mine, okay? All my content on here stays on here unless I take it off. Whereas if you go to Facebook, if they decide to block your account because somebody who is vindictive says, I don't like their content and I think that they are, this is not good content, this is something wrong with them, Facebook can block your account and you can lose everything. So I don't mean to scare you, but just keep in mind that, you're not in control on Facebook. You are in control with your own blog. Now, I think because I already closed it out, there's a pop-up box that comes up that offers like a free book, and then you can put in your email and your address. So I'm collecting your information there. All right, so that's how a blog differs. You own everything. You have creative control. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I'm glad that you had a great time. Let's see. Lisa, I'm not sure what you mean by you applied to join my Facebook page, but have not heard back whether you've been approved or not. So private message me on which Facebook page you mean. If you mean, let's go to Q&A video. Q&A, oops, not in Google search, I want in here. If you mean Q&A video, let's see. So this, by the way, everyone, is another place you can go. 7 people waiting to join this group. Let's see. Are you there? So these are all travel agents from IntelliTravel, because it doesn't help anybody else. I'm going to confirm them. But this is all about Ensemble, and I'm not going to go into detail on it because I have in many past webinars, which you can find. So I do a 30-minute training on Ensemble, the post office, and every month I do a challenge, and somebody wins a little gift from me. But what did that just make me think of? This just made me think of something. And just like that, it's gone. Let's see. All right. If it's important, it'll come back to me. The other one is the departure lounge. I don't approve people for that. Somebody else does, so they will get to that. But if it's anything else, then just just messenger me about it, but not at this moment because then it will pop up. If you write original content, does IntelliTravel own the content if it's associated with your travel business? Nope, they do not. Your content is yours. Because remember, you're not posting it on IntelliTravel's site, so it's not like you're giving it to them. But even if you did, it's yours. You wrote it. Let's see. Okay. Ellie from New York. When booking from an outside vendor, how long does it take to receive word whether commission has been approved? Okay. Good question. So when you book with an outside vendor, you are going to register your outside booking. All right. There is no approval for whether or not you're getting commission or not. So you might mean if you're booking with a non-preferred partner. So here's the thing. You are going to get commission if you ask these questions and the answers are yes. You ask the person, do you work with travel agents? Yes. Great. Do you accept my agency identifier, which is my ARC IATA number or my CLIA number? Sometimes they can find you through anything that's on your welcome email. So if you have lost your welcome email, then chat or email customer service so that they can just send it back to you again. They can just resend you your welcome email. But the phone number, IntelliTravel's address, IntelliTravel's customer service at IntelliTravel.com, email address. I have had an outside vendor that has found me through IntelliTravel.com was how they had us registered. So as long as they are registered with us and accept our agency identifiers, then, and then you ask, is this a commissionable rate? And the answer is yes. So if those 3 are yes, and then you book with them and you register your outside booking here, then you will be getting paid your commission, okay? And that is 30 to 60 days after travel, and IntelliTravel has received the commission check. Okay, so that said, sometimes non-preferred partners are where we receive our biggest pushback when we're trying to collect. So we don't have to worry about collecting from our preferred partners. They pay us. It's very nice. That's why we always tell you to work with them first. But if you don't have a choice and you have to work with someone else, like we've had some hotel vendors are the hardest ones to pin down. Okay. Just to clarify, you can blog on the same site you promote. Say, for instance, a Facebook group. I looked at a different webinar and it stated we couldn't promote our personal trips because you have to maintain a particular image as a travel agent. I looked at a different webinar. Okay, so if it was one of my webinars, let me be clear, okay? And I'm going to give you an example. So when you are, let's go to one of our ambassadors who's on with us today. Okay, she's gonna be like, okay, now everybody knows how to find me. That's why I changed my name. Okay, so here she had a beautiful, delicious pizza dinner, and there she is with her Valentine. Okay, woot woot. We're reading about the sun. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Rachel is not the greatest example because she has her own travel page, which she works really hard. So her travel page, Live Life Getaways, this is a great page to watch for travel stuff. So let me go to somebody else who might do both. Another ambassador who might do both things here. Okay. So let's see. So here she is talking about a business partner. Okay. So she's talking about, let me just see if it's not. Okay, so here we go. She's got Mayberry Travel is up here, but she's also talking about business partners from another business right here. So it is okay if you have multiple businesses to put them on your Facebook page. You can be talking about, let's see. So she's welcoming somebody from this business that she has, but she can also be writing about travel somewhere here. And I'm not finding it at the moment, but she can be. That's important. Consistency is important, okay? Like, see, so she's very consistent about one of them, but I guess her, she does a separate thing about travel. All right, so I'm not finding great examples here. Let me see. Let's see, Shanae. Maybe Shanae does both. Okay, so here we go. She's a certified travel ambassador here with IntelliTravel. She's also with another company called Planet Marketing. She's also a realtor with this. So basically, she's got 3 different businesses that she could be posting on here. So she could have Ideal Vacation, that's great. She can have some personal stuff, fantastic. She can have some team stuff from her Planet Marketing, that's great too. Then here's another travel. All right, so she can be doing all of that on one page. She just cannot have it in the same post. So she cannot put a collage like this together, have a picture of travel, have a picture of a real estate property that she's selling, and then shouting out her Planet partner there. So that's where you can't share. Are you going to do a training on Facebook pages? Maybe one day. Let me hold on. What we're going to do is we're going to go into Jessica's voice recording memos. Do a training on Facebook pages. Okay. There. Thanks for that. All right. So there we have it. All right. How long after becoming a travel agent did you make your own website? Literally, Stacy, the second that you became a travel agent, because, you know, let's see, green light travels, .teletravel.com. So you see, the minute I became a travel agent, this was given to me, and I can personalize it. I can put my own picture there. There she is. I can give it my business name. There it is. Okay. There we go. Now, I have to just point out something, you all. Sometimes, because I post my personal stuff here, every once in a while I'll get IntelliTravel agents that get kind of what's the word I want to use? They get creative, and they contact me instead of contacting me through IntelliTravel, the proper way to reach me, through customer service, and then they forward your emails to me unless you have my email address there. But we have our systems in place for a reason. So if you Facebook message me about IntelliTravel, I can't answer that. If you find me through Greenlight Coach or through Jessica Sittimer and you email me, I can't email you back about IntelliTravel stuff, okay? If you call on my 800 number about something with IntelliTravel, I can't call you back because it is against our, you know, our employee, I don't know, handbook, whatever. I mean, we have things in place so that you get the best customer service possible. And what I mean by that is when you call into customer service, every call you make is recorded, and therefore, if you come back and say, hey, I asked this person to send it to me and they didn't, we can go into the back office and be like, oh, that's right, she did. And then we can like talk to that customer service person and say, hey, what's up? Also, if you call into customer service and say, hey, you know, I called about this a week ago, I had a problem with it, and we thought we fixed it, but we didn't, then the customer service person can go in and say, oh, yes, I see what they tried. Let me try something else, and they can try something else for you. So there, we keep records of everything so that if you talk to me on Facebook Messenger, that doesn't go into the back office, and then you call up customer service and say, hey, you know, Jessica told me this, 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 and that, and then they're looking in the records and they're like, I don't see that you talked to Jessica. So that's why it's set up that way. It's not that I'm ignoring you to be mean. It's not that I am not returning your emails because I'm not a professional. You know, I get a ton of emails, so whenever my assistant gets a chance, my assistant will write back to you and say, you have contacted Jessica through, you know, through her personal company, and this looks like it has to do with travel business, so please contact her through, you know, so there's a standard thing that she sends back to people. But so just know that, you know, because I do share things, and then my public stuff, personal stuff comes up sometimes, and, you know, I know that you're being creative in your ways to get to me, but that is not the way to do it. Now, Stacy, you might be wanting a little bit more detail, like when did I start doing this more professional blog? You can start it immediately. The sooner the better, because as I said, the more you're doing it, like don't count how many people are following or how many people are commenting. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're getting content on there, and that when you create that content, that you're putting tags on it like travel, travel agent, Jamaica, travel agents in Atlanta, you know, things that like people are searching for, okay? And when you start your blog, you'll see what I'm talking about when it comes to that kind of stuff. Okay. What about link back to your blog with a blog post? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. I have a question about my Dreammaker certificate. I didn't have a certificate, and I sent an email to customer service to get it like you said. They sent me the file and said I had to take it to a printer or print myself. I may be in my feelings, but it's not the same. What would you do? Well, that's the only way that they can get it out, through an email. But basically, with that email, when you open it up, you can copy it and paste it to a Word document and then print it out, and then it will look exactly the same. So I know what you mean, like it looks like it's in the email, but just copy and paste the picture so that you can put it onto a Word document, or I use Pages for, and then print it out to a full page, and it will look exactly the same. Okay, so there you go. And it's not being in your feelings. I totally get you. All right, I answered that question already. Okay, I need your help. I booked 2 activities on Viator through IntelliTravel's website, and I don't see it in my back office. What do I do? You contact customer service. You can either chat them, you can email them, or you can call them, but do not do all 3. Pick one way to contact customer service and stick to that way. Okay, if you ask for a callback on our callback system, don't go to chat after that, because all that's doing is creating more backup for customer service and a longer time for us to get to other people as well as you. Okay? A group approached me and I don't know where to start. Ooh, this is exciting, Frederick. This is what we in the entertainment industry call A-list problems. Okay? So the where to start is, you're going to start with your do I have them up here? Yes. You're going to start with your partners. So if it's Go Vacations, you're going to call them up and say, hey, I've got a group that wants to go to, let's see, where does go? Where does go? So many places that it's hard to find. Okay, Globus. All right, so Globus goes to Europe, okay? And they're going to do tours in Europe. So I have a group that wants to do a tour in Europe. Great. I'm going to call Globus up, and I'm going to say to them, hey, listen, I'm looking at a couple of other vendors, but I think that after watching your webinar, you're a really good one. So I'm starting with you. So can you, or you call Denise, your business development manager, and say, Denise, I want to put a group together to Europe. Help me. And she will help you. She will be like your mentor. Let's say it's a group that wants to go on a cruise, and we come to Disney, all right? And this is, your people want to go on Disney, for sure. Well, you say to Disney, can you help me put this group together? My clients are also looking at Carnival and Royal Caribbean. Well, you bet that Disney gal or guy is going to be the most helpful person in helping you put together your group ever. Why? Because they don't want you getting off the phone until you have booked with Disney. So that is where you start. All right, you start there with your preferred partners. Now, you might have to start even earlier by qualifying the group. Where do they want to go? What do they want to do? Do they want to go by land, or do they want to go by sea? Do they want to go to someplace exotic, or do they want to go someplace that is well traveled, like they want to go on a Bahama cruise? Do they, what is their budget? Now, you're not going to come straight out and ask them. You're going to ask them what, if you say what is your budget range? Some people who are going on the cruise might have a lot to spend, and they might want to upgrade, and some people might only have a little bit. But what you can do is say, has this group ever traveled before? Where have they gone and what have they done? And if they say, well, we all went, on a group to the Holiday Inn, and we had our family reunion there. Well, now they want to go on a cruise. Well, if they had their first family reunion at the Holiday Inn and not at the Ritz-Carlton, then you're going to look more at Carnival and Norwegian and Royal Caribbean for them, versus going to Azamara, going to Crystal Cruises, but what you can also do is you can give them 2 different quotes. You can we can give them 3 quotes, all right? I like the number 3. Give them 2 quotes in what you think is their range, like Carnival, and Royal, and then give them a group quote for, let's say, Celebrity, which is like a step up. So this way they can kind of see the differences. And you always want to lead with the more expensive one, okay? Because then you're taking things away. So, and what I mean by that is if you show them, oh, well, you can go on Celebrity and you can have cooking lessons and you can have, these beautiful rooms that have this and that. And, or let me just use Norwegian for an example, okay? Let's say the group wants to go on Norwegian. You can say, okay, well, we have 3 different types of rooms that they can, book, basically, that I'm giving you samples for. You can have the Haven, which is where you'll have your own butler service. You'll have your own private key card to get in there. Nobody else from the ship can get in there except for other Haven members. You have your own pool, your own dining room, your own bar, beautiful room amenities. You get seats held for you at the shows, so you don't have to worry about, registering for the shows. You just talk to the concierge who's in the Haven, and they'll get you your show seats, and you don't have to worry about waiting online because they have a special roped off area just for Haven members. Or you can do a balcony, and you'll have, you can see out, you can go out, sit down on your balcony, you have this, you have that, and, access to everything on the ship and all this. Or you can have an inside cabin where you can't see anything, but you still have access to everything. So now when you give them the prices, they're thinking about that Haven, and they're like, ooh. But whatever it is, they don't want that inside. They definitely, they're willing to spend a little more to get that balcony because they've heard you, they've had you paint the picture. All right, I am going over, but that's okay. I am struggling getting followers for my business page. Yeah, that's why in the beginning I don't necessarily recommend a business page. You know what? I actually did. Oh, let's go there. I do talk about business pages. You know why? Because under education, IntelliTutorial Library, So somebody was asking where you can find these. Here they are, customer service webinar. This is the Canva one I was talking about creating branded quotes. Okay, look right here, IntelliTravel social media webinar. This is an entire webinar I did on a Thursday night. Like, how we have, and I'm doing another one this Tuesday, and it is on travel parties. Woohoo! So it's going to be an entire webinar on travel parties. I'm pretty sure I'm doing that. I haven't seen the webinar. I haven't seen the invitation go out yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what I'm doing. So keep an eye out for that webinar, Tuesday night webinar invitation. So now what we're starting to do is not only are you getting suppliers on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, but every once in a while, you're getting me. All right, so this webinar, I talk all about business pages, how to get people there, how to decide if you want one. All right, so now that we're coming, oh boy. Do you have to register the preferred partners as an outside booking? You do if you registered them, if you didn't book them in your back office. So in other words, if you book Royal Caribbean through our cruise engine right here, then you don't have to register them. Let's see, cruise engine. Okay, I failed somehow. Let's go back and try that again with an example I can really use because I haven't played with that. All right, so let's not even do flights. Let's do cars, okay? So we're going to book a car through here. I'm going to book Hertz, who's our preferred supplier here, all right? But if you call Hertz or go to Hertz's website and make the reservation there using your agency identifiers. That's usually what I do. I usually call Hertz right up, and then I just give them our agency identifiers, our ARC number, and they find me. But that's when I have to go back and register that booking because I did it by phone, all right? So when you book anything through your IntelliSearch here, booking engine, it automatically goes into your bookings. But if you book anywhere else, doesn't matter if they're your preferred partner or your not preferred partner, anywhere else, anytime you leave the back office, you do not see the URL that says IntelliTravel.com. You must register that in your back office. All right, so boy, oh boy, awesome in your Whitney Houston voice. Oh, very nice. Okay, so let's see. Where do you find how many webinars you have completed? Okay, so you don't find that. What site did you create your newsletter? So we have a newsletter here in my agency. Hold on a second. My agency, hovering, marketing and sales tools. So we have a done for you newsletter right here. All right. And let me show you an example of a newsletter. So for those of you who are not writers, things my kids say. So just keep track of everything funny that your kids say. And look, it shows my picture. It shows my green light information again. Again, don't use this info to contact me unless you're contacting me to something that has to do with one of these things. Okay. And then I didn't sell travel here. That was not what the value of the newsletter is to get them to open it and give them something of value. So here you're giving them a laugh. They laugh at the things that your kids say, but then you're going to attach some hot deals. So that's why I recommend this newsletter versus mine, which I do through MailChimp, because here you can attach the hot deals. All right. The only drawback to this one, and let me see if I can show you another example, is that I cannot. Here it is. Here's another example. I cannot attach a picture. Okay, that's the only drawback of this one. Hopefully one of these days we will be able to have you do that. But look at what I did. I was able to send people to my Facebook. So now I'm getting people to my Facebook by saying my dog. Okay, so I'm giving them 3 things. I'm giving them a tip, get a pair of those earplugs. So let's see. I had some fun seeing Bay and Jay Z in concert. I got great seats because my travel agency has a great partner for hard to find tickets. So now I'm not selling to them, but I am letting them know that I've got tickets. Had so much fun. Here's a tip. Get a pair of those earplugs. You'll be able to hear the concert while blocking out the screaming fans. Then spring also means the sun is out, which means I've been to, I forgot my sunblock one day and paid the price with a burnt nose. Tip, carry sunblock in your purse or glove compartment. Which means, okay. My dog Barkley is in love. She met a 2-year-old Labradoodle named Tucker last week and has been pining away for him ever since. I've been posting her journey on Facebook. Check out her picture that goes with this status update. Waiting for Tucker. Will he be out for his walk tonight? When you don't have your own love, so your dogs, so you don't have your own love life, so your dogs suddenly become super important. And then I gave the link to that Facebook picture. Okay, let me know what smart tips you have. I'd love to share them in the months to come. So now I'm getting engagement. So this is where I would recommend, because now look, I attached some hot deals to that. Okay, so now I'm not selling to them here. I'm letting them know that I do have access to some things, but I didn't say, hey, book with me, or hey, this is a newsletter all about this trip I want to book for you. No, that's not what people will open. People will open tips. They'll open things that make them laugh. They'll open, all the different things we talked about in that blog. And here's another tip for you. You can use your newsletter content, which is what I do, to then put it on your blog. So my people who sign up for my newsletter here, which does not have pop-up to do, but because I closed it, but people who sign up for my newsletter on my homepage get my newsletter, and then, so like if you go to my blog, my first one is Crazy Rich Asians, but that's not the last one that went out. What I will do today is I will post that new blog that went out, because next week on Monday is when my next newsletter goes out. Right? Am I making myself crazy here? Okay. Anyway, so that's what I do. Like, I will post to my newsletter, so my newsletter people get it first. They get to, if I have a special that's going on, if I have only a certain number of seats in the webinar I'm doing, they get the chance to fill it up first. And then I share it on my blog a week later. So that is why you can use the IntelliTravel newsletter first and then put it on your blog. All right, I have gone 20 minutes over, which means that, how do you see this recording afterwards? Again, it's in the education under IntelliTutorials, but give them like a day or so. Oh yeah, today's Friday. That's right, today's Friday. How much does it cost us to hire a webmaster? Different people have different costs. It really all depends on, I'm always promoting my gal. So how do we follow you? You just find me on social media, like at, you would go in, if you're looking on Facebook, you would look at, you would search at Jessica Sittimer, and it will come up with all the different things I do. Okay, so don't worry about this. I haven't done anything with that yet. I just started it. That's nothing. This is not IntelliTravel related. That's a membership site. So, but this is something you can follow me on. You can like me and follow me on that. Here is my personal profile, which you can follow. Can't friend me because I have too many friends, but you can follow me. So you got lots of people following me. Then on Instagram, you can find me, Instagram, again, it's going to be Jessica Sittimer. Find me there. Pinterest, probably not the best person to learn from yet. Pinterest, but we are getting there. But again, how would you find me? You would find me, Jessica Sittimer. So do you notice a theme here? My theme is that I keep the same business name on everything so that people know that they're in the, look, there's my blog from the plane. The thing in my mouth. Okay. So how's this? Yeah, let's not even bother with Pinterest because then we're really going down the rabbit hole. So what I would say to you all is, if I have not answered your question today, I apologize. Please keep coming back. But here's your tip that we always end with. This is the Google of your back office. Okay? So now granted, these Facebook questions and things like that are not answered there. That's where you come here. But anything for, let's see, I'm trying to see if there's something, Dreammaker. When is the next Dreammaker event? If it's not in your back office calendar of events and you haven't received an email, it hasn't been announced yet. Okay, well, let's see if it is now in our calendar of events. Because for a while here, we've been looking and we haven't found it. But I, like I promised you, I went to the higher ups and I said, hey, this used to be in our calendar of events. It's not. Can you please add it there? So let's see. Dreammaker's coming to Charleston. There it is. So the Dreammaker events are here in your calendar of events, but it also goes out via email. So see how I found that just by putting it in my Google, my back office, which is Knowledge Base. So anything I have not answered today, put into Knowledge Base. If you still can't get an answer and you need it immediately, then definitely here you can go to live chat and you can introduce yourself and say, hey, when's the next Dreammaker event? Okay, so, but it's best that you answer things for yourself because that makes you self-sufficient. The more you can find in your knowledge base and the less you become dependent on your customer service, the stronger, more confident business owner you will be and feel like. And that is how I will end our webinar today. Agents, if you can't feel the love, let me just tell you, I love you all. It is my passion to help you succeed. So keep on coming back, because the more you learn, the more you... Oh my gosh, you all said that so loudly, I actually heard you through my computer. That's right, the more you earn, for you newbies who haven't quite, who have only been here for a day. Yes, we're at the last Dreammaker event, and see, I can't end it. I just can't end it. I do not know how to shut myself up. This is where Tara usually comes in and pulls me off the stage. But we had a girl, a woman, a lady, whatever you want to call her, a chick. We had a gal at Dreammaker in Atlanta. There were almost 500 people there, and it was her first day. She had just signed up the night before. It's awesome. I love everyone to be learning, because the more you learn, the more you earn. That's right. Thank you and goodbye.